and he asked the trained professionals, can you observe me? Can you give me your feedback? Welcome to Mother-Daughter Connections, the show dedicated to educating, encouraging, and equipping moms to build lasting, meaningful connections with their daughters. I'm your host and mother-daughter relationship personal trainer, Dr. Michelle Deering. My heart is to be of help to you. I believe that your relationship with your mom is the foundation for your future success, personally, parentally, and professionally. Now remember, even though I'm a licensed psychologist, I'm not your shrink on this show. I am, however, here to share my opinions and those of my guests. If you have concerns about your mental health, please seek services from a mental health provider in your local area. Now join me as we pause to consider today's topic. Well, hi there and welcome. I am excited that you are here with me today. And if you were listening to last week's episode, you know that I'm particularly excited because this is an Olympic year this year, and I am just thrilled to watch elite athletes perform and compete and showcase their talents in that way. And I just love partaking of it as a spectator, even though I'm a former athlete. Once an athlete, always an athlete, but I'm also a sports psychologist, so I'm always interested in the mental side of sports. But enough of that. Last week we talked about a thing and her tripping and falling. Today, I want to talk with you about a young gentleman who I saw during the Olympic trials. This young gentleman had a wonderful career as a collegian, and his name is Frederick Richards. Now, as a gymnast, which is his chosen sport, Frederick fell a lot. All right, talking of falling. And, that's just part and parcel, part of what it means to be a gymnast. You learn how to tumble, learn how to fall correctly, you learn how to do all the apparatuses that are part of your sport. And a tumble is a controlled fall, but the kind of fall that you don't want to have happen is the uncontrolled kind when it's not supposed to occur. And this was happening a lot for Frederick in different apparatuses. And so he took it upon himself to reset himself and figure out what his goals were for his gymnastics journey. And in his self-reflection, he came to the realization, not that he hadn't realized it before, but he came to the realization, look, and this is, me kind of paraphrasing what probably went on through his head, is if I want to get to the next level, at the elite level, and make the Olympic team, I need to learn some skills that I'm currently not good at. Because once you learn those skills and perform them well, you get high scores. And that's the name of the game in gymnastics, is to get a high score. So he took it upon himself to actually go to an elite gymnastics camp that's geared towards exposing aspiring gymnasts who want to get to that next level, exposing them to trained, reputable professionals in the field of gymnastics. Now, the normal thing that would happen at these camps is that the young men, in this case, because it's men's gymnastics, the young men would go to these camps and want to showcase all their skills, all their highlights to these trained professionals, because those trained professionals have influence with those who will be making Olympic team decisions. Okay, so they wanted to just basically put their best foot forward. Well, when Frederick went to this elite camp, he decided that unlike his peers, he wanted to connect with these professionals to get their input on his weaknesses. He actually went to all the different mini sessions on apparatuses that he was weak in, and he asked the trained professionals, can you observe me? Can you give me your feedback and strategic recommendations about how I can make corrections so that I can get to my goal of getting higher scores? That was how he approached things. And the result was that for this past Olympic trials competition, he actually came in first place overall for the Olympic trials and became the first African-American man to do so in the history of Olympic gymnastics. Now, oftentimes I have mom clients contacting me for help with their mother-daughter relationship issues and concerns. And when they talk to me, they usually tell me, it's very difficult for me to make this call. And I tell them I get it, but it's very brave of you. And then when we start working together, usually after or somewhere near the end of the first meeting or shortly thereafter, when they come back for meeting number 2, they end up telling me that they were so glad that they called me to work with me and get help. And then by the time they get through their second meeting with me, usually they've just started to experience transformation in their mother-daughter relationships. And that always makes my heart feel very warm and full. The thing is, mothers and daughters come to me because they know that, one, I'm a trained professional. Okay, I have my doctoral degree in counseling psychology. I'm licensed as a psychologist in both New Jersey and North Carolina. I'm nationally board certified as a sports psychologist. 2, they know that I'm an expert at mother-daughter relationships. Okay, I've spent the past 25 plus years working with moms and daughters in particular, having written my best-selling book, What Mothers Never Tell Their Daughters. So they know I know what I'm talking about. And 3, I'm a mom of twin adult daughters with whom I have a great relationship. It wasn't always that way when they were in their pre-tween years, but it's gotten better over that long period of time. And so I've been there, done that. And the camp that I run, metaphorically speaking, is in the form of my one-on-one mother-daughter relationship personal training / coaching services. Now, this camp or service is not for everyone. It's only for moms who are ready to get real, get vulnerable, get observed, get feedback, get answers, get strategic solutions, get to practicing new skills, and get support. If you're a mom who wants to get all of that stuff, then definitely you can schedule a no-guilt consult call with me at bit.ly/no-guilt-consult. And I'd be happy to get on board with you and help you experience transformation in your life with your daughter. Now, as I think about Frederick's journey so far, I can't help but think how important it is for you as a mom to pause to consider what you're spending your time doing. Ask yourself this, all right? Are you more concerned about looking good in front of family and friends? Is it hard for you to be vulnerable and show your weaknesses? Or do you tend to have the last word when it comes to any kind of mother-daughter interaction where you and your daughter might have a conflict? Well, my question for you is, which is more important? For you to be right in the short run, or for you to actually have a closer relationship with your daughter in the long run? So the thing you can learn from Frederick in terms of lessons for motherhood is you want to really address the areas in which you're weak, because the short-term pain of being vulnerable will actually help you reach your long-term goal for connectivity with your daughter. I am so glad that we got to spend time together today. Be encouraged. Healthy mother-daughter relationships are possible. They just take one curative connection at a time. I'll see you next week. You've been listening to Mother-Daughter Connections with me, your host and mother-daughter relationship personal trainer, Dr. Michelle Deering. Thanks so much for joining me today. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Share this episode with a friend so they don't miss an episode. And download the resource in the show notes. Until next time, remember to pause to consider how you can connect intentionally so you can improve relationally with your daughter.